Hi, this is Monica Packer from About Progress, and you're listening to The Messy Middle, a monthly series where I share some of my own messy middle so you can see what progress looks like for a real woman in real time. We always begin The Messy Middle with the What's Happening segment where I share what's been going on around the Packer household. And I would just say it's real life. In other words, a funk of all funks, which you heard in an episode a couple weeks back. Let's start with the good stuff, though. Some good stuff is happening, mostly just the holiday traditions of October. I am not a Halloween person. I'm not a costume person, but I do love a lot of the traditions in fall. So my kids and my husband and I, we all went to a local harvest festival for the school that one of my kids goes to. That's always fun. We went to Crossy Ranch, which is a local, like, I don't know even how to say it. It's like a holiday or harvest extravaganza. Like there's so much to do there for kids, including a corn maze and rock climbing and slides and obstacle courses and cornholes and like out. I don't know. I think I said that right. Let's just keep going. And like the best donuts you will ever eat in your entire life. Like all good stuff. Highly recommend it if you live local to Utah. We carved pumpkins last night. We've driven around to see Halloween decor. Brad got the dream of his life fulfilled by his dad gifted him with one of those giant skeletons from Home Depot that Brad has gone to Home Depot to look at. I don't even know how many times the last few years and considered buying it, but his dad finally got it for him. So that's been a huge win to have that out. And yeah, so other good stuff. I said last week one of my lows is that my one of my kids was getting bullied at school, but we likely were able to move them out of that class and things seem to be better that way. And my toddler is starting to talk more. A lot of it in ways only I can understand, but and Brad too, but it's things are starting to work more, which is making all the many hours of speech therapy worth it. And he's been potty training. We just accidentally started doing that. On Friday, I had to go to Target to get a couple gifts for some birthday parties that were happening that day. I know. I am never good at that either. Birthday gifts aren't my thing. Just don't think about it very well. Anyway, while we were there, I'm like, you know what? We've been talking about potty training a lot. Like he and I have been reading lots of books on potty training. We've been asking him if he's interested and he's starting to act more interested. So how about we go pick up his special undies while we were here and some M&Ms to do our little treats every time he uses the potty. And we just came home and started. And that was Friday afternoon and Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We are now into Wednesday here. Yesterday, he had 0 accidents and he's been wearing undies to preschool in the morning. So I think we're doing it. I don't usually potty train them for nighttime right away. I've never figured that out. Like my kids just wear diapers for a while at night until they're like 4 and then we figure it out from there, but maybe we'll try to do that sooner. Yeah. So that's a lot of the good stuff. Also part of the good stuff is the More for Moms conference was wonderful. I was so happy with how everything turned out with the content, the interviews. The woman who signed up participated with the All Access Pass. I got to connect with a lot of women that way. It was fun to give out the bonuses and prizes for that to support people along the way, and to also just get the feedback from the women who took part in the conference and said like this was so well done. I'm talking about the speakers. Like I'm so happy that I participated, as well as the actual people who enrolled to view and listen to the content and saying what it changed for them. And that's not an ad. I was just really proud of that. And then what happened after that is I totally crashed and burned. And that's when the funk of all funks hit. I've just felt really burnt out and sad and exhausted. And to hear all about that, listen to an episode a couple weeks back where I talk about how I'm in a funk and I coach myself through it. I have to say, your feedback and messages to me from that episode were so validating and encouraging. And I'm realizing that almost all of us are feeling the same, if not all of us. And I'm sorry for that. And I hate it. And I hope we can all get out of it sooner rather than later. And I'm trying to do that now. That's part of what's happening. I've been trying to rest more. I've been reading more. We've had a little bit more of local adventures. And the next thing on my list is hobbies. And I recorded a special episode for More Personal on how I was going to work on a couple hobbies, specific hobbies from sewing to hiking, and how I was going to start trying to do that. So that was fun to kind of work through as well. So you're not alone if you're feeling that way. Let's share some highs and lows. I feel like The high for me was actually a reunion that my husband's family did to celebrate their deceased grandmother's 100th birthday. And it was so nice to gather with his cousins and his aunts and uncles and to be able to spend some time with them. But also, Brad's siblings all came. They live all over the country. So he's one of five. And so to have them together in a single place was really nice too, because we haven't really seen them all together for many years. So it was just really nice. We spent a lot of time with Brad's parents and his siblings and got to go on a long hike one of the days and have a nice dinner another day. And also, the reunion part was really lovely too. So that actually was my big high. My low was just the funk. I don't know what else I can say about that. Listen to the episode a couple weeks back. That's it for what's happening. The next segment is the DSL update. In this segment, I tell you how it's going with my do something list for this year. The do something list changed my life now 10 years ago, and it's changed hundreds of women's lives since. You can get a free training by going to aboutprogress.com/DSL. And to see my own personal DSL for this year, you can do so at aboutprogress.com/MonicaDSL 2025. That's linked for you in the show notes. This month wasn't so great on the DSL front, and that's okay. Last month, I knew it was going to be a really crazy month, which probably is why there was a funk on the other side. That can happen after a big burst of a lot of work and expectations and sometimes unmet expectations and then a crash and burn. So I also knew October was going to be gentle on the DSL list, but I still made some headway. I read a lot of books and I made a new form of sourdough like wheat bread for sandwiches, and it's been so good. I made it in plain and wheat, and I've made the wheat version twice. I just made it the other day because we were out of bread and it wasn't time to go grocery shopping yet. So that's about it. That's about it for this month. Coming up, though, I have some fun things. Oh, wait, I forgot one other thing. We went to Nunsen's last weekend, so that's part of my performance stuff, like get out and get cultured. It was so good at Health Center Theater. It's now over, so I'm sorry that you can't see it if you're just hearing about it now, but it was so good. Coming up, I'm going to a ballet this weekend and to Dear Evan Hansen. So Saturday afternoon, a matinee to a ballet, and Saturday evening to Dear Evan Hansen. I'm going to another ballet the week after. And then I am going to go to the Nutcracker for my niece, my two nieces who are in a local production. And then my daughter and I are going to go to the Nutcracker in December. I signed up for all those tickets, which is so fun. I am now going to officially sew the tree skirt that I talked to you about last month. I have the pattern. Now I just need to go get the fabric, but I'm doing it. This is the month. And we're also going to go on an out-of-state adventure. We're going to visit Brad's parents in Northern California. And it's always so fun we used to live there in the San Francisco Bay Area for 13 years. So to be able to go back and revisit is always bittersweet, honestly, but mostly really enjoyable. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that's it for the DSL update. The next segment is Make It a Habit. In this segment, I tell you about a habit that's going well and one that's not going so well. What's going well right now is figuring out the morning tweaks. I did a whole episode on this as well about how to tweak your routines, and the tweaking is going well. One of the things I've been tweaking is I leave the dirty dishes in the sink at 8 a.m. and I walk up to my office, which is above our garage, and I work, which is a funny tweak to make because having a clean kitchen really helps my day. But I just put down whatever is not done at 8 a.m., I go up. And that's actually working really well for me. And I'm considering the early wake up time. I kind of hate it. And I think I'm going to talk about that more in the later segment on what's on my mind. But it's working better, I would say. One other thing I have to report in on is that I am doing better at reading to my 7-year-old. This has been a habit I've been working on for months. And I finally figured out the golden ticket is to just read alongside my toddler with the 7-year-old at night before I put my toddler down. And that's going great. They're about to move into a room together. We're going to move our 10-year-old up into where the toddler's room is, right next to our room. And we're going to move our toddler, who's almost a 3-year-old, down into the bunk bed room because that pairing, the 7-year-old and 10-year-old, just kind of need a break. So we're going to do that and give the 10-year-old his own room, which he so deserves. He's such a mild-mannered child who the middle child too, who can easily get overlooked. I'm looking forward to making that room special for him and for our youngest two to be together. So with that, we'll be able to read more at night together too. What's not going so well I wouldn't say this is like not going so well, but it's something I want to tweak. Actually, I'll just tell you now what I was going to tell you later and what's on my mind. What's on my mind is like maybe I'm realizing a 5 a.m. wake up time, while necessary to my life right now, is not the way I actually want to live my life. Like waking up at 5 a.m. just kind of makes me depressed, to be honest. And it's adding to the funk and in ways where I'm like, is this like actual depression? I don't know. But I've been thinking about, well, what do I do? Because 5 a.m. is legitimately what's going to be best for me and my family with our circumstances. And so I'm going to try to go to bed earlier. Now, I usually am asleep by 10, but I'm like, 7 hours is not enough for me. I'm realizing it's not enough. So I want to try better. And I've been, doing this more of a time I get ready for bed as soon as I put my toddler down. But sometimes I just drift away from that, and I've drifted away from that. And I'm just doing stuff around the house. I'm getting things ready. I'm cleaning. And then sometimes doom scrolling. So I am going to really buckle down on going to bed as early as possible. Like I want to be in bed by 9 p.m. and that sometimes gets conflicted with my growing teenagers, but I know that's another factor for many of you who have all teenagers. But I'm going to try. I'm just going to try. So that's what I'm going to work on, because I'm realizing what's not going so well is I'm tired and grumpy and a little depressed, and it may just be because I need more sleep. That's it for Make It a Habit. The next segment is the book watch. I am writing a book called Happy Habits on Flexible, Gentle Habit Formation for Women, and it's set to come out the fall of 2026. So this is just an update. I'm 85% done writing the book. I got back into writing it after the More for Moms conference ended, and it is feeling really good. Things are coming along. I have 2 chapters left. My next plan is to copy and paste the entire document, and I'm going to have to sign up for the Word document application that they have now instead of you just getting the software, because it has to be in Word for the publisher. I'm going to copy and paste it all over there, and then I'm going to go through and just have at it. I'm going to slash things. I'm going to simplify. I'm going to add more metaphors, and I'm also going to interject my sense of humor and personality a bit more, because I don't want it to read like a textbook. So that's the next plan, and I'm hoping, maybe I should say it out loud here, is I'm hoping by the end of November to have that done. I also need to meet with my publisher soon. We're supposed to be talking about the cover art and plans for publishing. So cross your fingers that I can move up their public date a bit to a better date. I think that works for a better month that works better for our community, rather. So that's coming up. And for more behind the scenes on all of that, and I'm going to share more, sign up for the book club, the launch. What do I call it even? I forgot. I'm looking at my notes. The book launch committee. It's a committee, but it's more of a newsletter. Like you get a newsletter on the behind the scenes and the updates on what's going on. And eventually you can also sign up to be an advanced reader if you like, and to act as grassroots publicity, which we will definitely need. And I need your support. And you can do that by going to aboutprogress.com/book committee. That's it for the book watch. The next segment is what I'm loving lately. This is where I share about things I'm loving. Let's start with Taylor Swift's new album. That got me through the crazy week of the More for Moms conference, where every second I had was devoted to that conference, which I knew it would be, and I'm so proud of it, and I'm so happy I got to do that. But I spent a lot of time listening to that album while I was uploading things and making sure things were in order and doing the behind the scenes with it. I really prefer the clean version, and it's not because I'm a stiff, although I definitely can be, and it's not because I'm a prude, although I definitely can be. It's just because I get distracted by those F-bombs being all over the place, or the D word. I just don't like that word. Anyway, I like the clean version a ton, and I've been listening on repeat over and over and over. And my daughter is loving it too, so we get to join in on that, and some of my sons love the album as well. So we've just been Taylor Swift all the way, and I'm not even the biggest Swiftie, but I've enjoyed it. Taylor and I talked, my podcast manager, Taylor, and I talked about this more in an episode 4, more personal as well. I'm also loving The Diplomat. I am watching this much slower than I'd like season 2, because Brad and I are trying to watch it together, and we haven't even watched one together yet this week, but we are 3 or 4 episodes in. I think 4 episodes in. So we're halfway through. I love this show so much. It's not going to be for everybody. Check to make sure it's right for you and your own parameters of what you like to consume material wise, but I just love Kate, the main character. I love her strength, but also humanness. And it's a really good show. I also started season 2 of Nobody Wants This. I'm like 2 episodes out on that and I'm liking it as well. But I would say that's it for what I'm loving lately. Next up is On My Mind. So what's on my mind is just that kind of like confusion piece when you're in a funk where you're like, is this a funk or am I depressed? Because if this goes much longer, then I would say I think it's a depression. Today I'm feeling pretty good. So I bet it's not. And when I say I feel depressed, know that I'm not saying that lightly. I have been clinically depressed many times in the past. I know the signs. I know what I'm looking for. I know what it feels like. I know how hard it is. So just know I'm not saying that lightly. But that is a question in my mind. Like, am I just in a funk or is this like a full on swing of depression that I got to take more seriously? I'm just watching it. I'm watching it right now. Another confusion piece for me is like, should I just quit everything or should I stick with everything? And I'm talking about progress. This honestly happens about every 6 months, but sometimes more intensely than others. And that's where I'm at right now, where I'm just kind of like, what's the point? But I know the point. I know the points actually, the more of plural. Um, but that's just the place I'm in. And if you listen to the funk episode too, I'm sorry, I keep alluding to that. I've decided to still start exploring what plan B would be for me. And I don't really know what plan B would be for me, although I did it all last year, 2024, but I just need to kind of come up with that. And yeah, also the need for hobbies, which is a whole other thing that's on my mind a lot and I'm trying to work on. So the 3 things that came from the episode, I need to have more rest and adventure and hobbies. So I'm working on those things. Those are on my mind as well. That's it for On My Mind. Next and finally is About Progress is Progress. This is where I share how we're doing. Uh, Maybe you're like, well, why do you want to quit everything? It's just because it gets hard and you feel like you are just shouting into the void and growth is so slow for me online. It always is. The More for Moms conference was so brilliant and I'm really proud of it. I've turned it into a course and I'm again really proud of that too. I I think it has some of the best interviews I've ever done. And if you want to think of it, it's like a year's worth of content in one place with some of the best interviews ever. So now it's a course you can get for $20 off by using the code listener at aboutprogress.com/more for moms. I'm really proud of it. But, on the other end of that was like that crash and burn where you're like, that went so well, really proud of it, but also some expectations that were really important were not met. Like I expected more people to enroll. And I'm going to be really honest with you. It's in large part because I expected the speakers to share more about it than they did. Some of them really did. They hit every part of the agreement that they made in being part of the conference and sharing about it, but many did not. And that's frustrating and it's hard. So that was kind of the bummer on that end for me. Another thing that's been kind of a bummer lately, and it goes with the supporters update, is we are now at 161 supporters, which is 161 people, incredible number. We started the year at 165 and we've gone up and back down. And the roller coaster is part of progress. I know that. But it's tough to be on that roller coaster when it feels like your business, like your whole work that you've done now for 9 years with the podcast, 10 years almost with everything else is like on the line in many ways. That's tricky. That's confusing. That makes you question things. And that's what it's doing for me. So I'm really grateful for the supporters who are there because it has made this work possible. But if we continue on the trajectory we're on, then I don't know what can happen. I don't know if the work here can continue. So that's part of the confusion of should I quit or stick with things is, hey, is this going to continue? Like I plan to, I want to, but it's the question mark right now. So I'm still moving forward, however mustily so. I'm still planning on being here, but it's a little tricky and confusing and difficult right now to think through. So talk to me in January. I'm sure I'll feel better by then. And I've already planned out, if this gives you any relief, all of 2026 content is planned out for the show. I've got like almost every interview lined up. I at least have every interview plotted out of who I want to be on the show. And I think at least half of them are committed and some of them are already recorded. So we're still in motion here, But now's the time to join the Supporters Club. If you don't want this show to go anywhere, please consider signing up. It's not a charity. You get so much in return, and I do my best to make the content that you get so valuable. So go to aboutprogress.com/support to sign up. And remember, you can always support the show for free. I always say this, but right now, this month is our anniversary month. So About Progress's progress includes, hey, we're about to approach our 9-year anniversary. And as part of that, I'm doing my favorite things giveaway. I think I'm giving the best stuff away that I've ever done. And I'm giving 9 things away, including like Rothy clogs and a Gap sweatsuit and this really cute bag from Quince that I bought to go on my trip to London that I have loved so much. I wear it almost every day, as well as some beauty products that I'm super obsessed with, and earrings that I really love that I have haunted me on Instagram as ads for years. And I finally splurged and got some, and I got some for you too. Last year, what I did is I gave away 8 things, and then I gave away all 8 things to one final grand prize winner. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can't do that this year. I don't have the money for it. None of this stuff is sponsored or donated. I pay for it. So I can only pay for those 9 things, but they're really good things, really good things. So support the show, celebrate the anniversary. You can check out the favorite things giveaway by going to aboutprogress.com/9-year giveaway. No hyphens or anything there. And to enter the giveaway, it's the simplest thing ever. You leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. What would you miss if this show were to disappear? Tell me that in the review, okay? And you're automatically submitted. And I'm going to do the giveaway a little differently this year, just so you know. Last year and other years prior, I tried to do the final giveaway by mid-November, and I have found that doesn't work. And I intended to start the giveaway much sooner this year and wrap it up by November 1st, even though our technical anniversary is November 11th, I believe. But I just couldn't. I couldn't this year. With everything that's been going on, I didn't have the bandwidth. So now what I'm doing is we're doing a rolling giveaway, and I'm going to give one thing away per week until they're all gone, which will likely be through the end of the year. And I'm going to start the giveaway in a week or two. So leave a rating and review now. And Apple Podcasts may take a week or two to approve it. So that's why I leave it now, because what happened last year is some people left reviews and then they didn't show up till December after the giveaway was done. And I ended up giving most of those people favorite things packages earlier on in the year, because I do that each month when I do a review of the month, which, speaking of which, I'm going to do in just a second. But they still ended up, most of them got things. But yeah, I just want to make sure everyone has a chance to win. So November's the month to leave a rating review, but the giveaway will actually probably still go out through December. And it may not work well, and it may not be the right choice, but it's what I had to do this year. And I was debating even doing a giveaway at all, just because that's how limited my bandwidth was. So just know, okay, that's where I'm at, but I'm so excited. I have to celebrate this. That's where I came back to. That's what I came back to. We have to celebrate this. This is 9 years. So let's celebrate it. Final thing, before I do the review of the month, Italy. We have just a few rooms open. We have one woman who really wants to be a single rider, meaning she wants to be paired up with another woman who wants to come. I've already paired 4 women who are really happy, and I have special incentives for single riders, but there's just a few spots left. So either grab a friend and join, or tell me you want to be a single rider. Regardless, you can see information on the exclusive female foodie tour I'm hosting to Rome, Italy in the fall of 2026. You can check it out at aboutprogress.com/Italy, and then email me. Email me for Monica, I'm interested. Just email me and I'll tell you a lot more about the incentives that I have in place. My email is hello@aboutprogress.com. Okay, review of the month. Let's share it from Katie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exclamation point, exclamation point. I love this review because it's so simple. Monica's tips are helpful, and listening to her just makes me feel like I can handle life better. Katie, thank you. Email me at hello@aboutprogress.com with your address, and I will send you a little thank you gift, and you are automatically still submitted to the giveaway too. So Katie, you're probably going to get more than just that, but I can't make promises. But there have been few reviews left this year, so please go on and leave a review. I thank you so much for those who have. There's so much goodness here in this community. I love you. I'm sorry for being messy. I'm sorry about sharing about my own doubts and insecurities. Actually, I'm not sorry. Thank you for giving me the space to do it. But I hope you know it doesn't take away from this work. They always say to share from the scars, not the scabs. And today was more of a scab episode. That's a gross imagery, but it was. But know that this happens. This happens, and sometimes often, but but most of the time it's just every 6 months. And I'm still planning on being here. I hope I can be here. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your support, whether it's in the supporters club or not. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. And I hope in listening, it gives you the courage to lean into your own messy middle today.